Hello and welcome to Comic Book Catch Up. I'm Jason and today I will be looking back at the first 4 issues of The Bunker. Now what this is part review, part overview. I'll give a basic outline of what happened in the book. Won't spoil too much, but I'll give you a basic outline of the story thus far without spoilers if I can. That would be quite a challenge in itself to do that. And I'll also kind of say what I thought of each individual issue. So let's kick things off. We have issue number 1. The Bunker is from Only Press. It's written by Joshua Hale Fialkov, and Joe Infurnari does not just the art, but this dude's like a multi-talented dude. He draws it, he colours it, and he letters it. Yeah, and I pretty much think there's nobody else's name for it. I pretty much think he inks it as well. So you know. So you get that like pure vision, really, with just 2 people on the book. It's an even more of a pure vision of what they want this book to be. Now, what is The Bunker about, I hear you ask? Well, it basically kicks off with about 5 friends, and we have Grady, we have Billy and his sister Heidi, we have Daniel and his girlfriend Natasha, and they're all basically about to go off and do their individual things. But they want to bury this time capsule kind of to commemorate this day and kind of meet up, say, in 25 years time and dig the thing up. So they go to bury it in the woods and they find this bunker. And on top of this bunker that's buried underground, and on top of this thing, it's got 4 of their names on it. Billy's name for some reason is not on there, but the other 4 members of the group, their names are on there. So they're curious, what is this bunker and why has it got our name on it? So they get inside this bunker because it's open. And they get inside and they find letters from themselves, from the future, saying how they're going to cause kind of like the destruction of the world as we know it. And kind of like at first they're thinking this is some kind of joke, some kind of hoax. But then each letter contains something personal to them to convince them that this is real. Now all through this, Billy's a bit pissed off because not only is his name not on the bunker, he's not got a letter from the future either. And he's like, well, why was I left out? What's happened to me in the future that means that I'm not part of this? We then get to see each of the characters kind of deal with this in their own way. Because the things that are in the letter, they don't always just relate to them. It's about something that's going on. So kind of like Natasha's letter is about the fact that Daniel slept with Heidi, which she doesn't know yet. And she's like, well, this is rubbish because my letter says you slept with my best friend. That ain't true, is it? And like the awkward silence kind of says, yeah, it's true. So the letters kind of produce all this kind of inner conflict between the group, as some of them believe the letters because of what they say. Others are like, no, this is rubbish, this is bullshit, I want no part of this. And all along the way, it's all connected that they are going to affect the future. That the letters kind of explain that one of their group is going to create this kind of super fruit that can grow anywhere, but this creates this kind of super flu which is resistant to everything and adapts instantly and wipes out 98% of the world, and all that's left of the world is living in America, because America was the least affected, because out of all the countries in the world they ate the least amount of fresh fruit and stuff, so it affected them the least. By the time everything went down, so America's the only place where there's people left. Everybody else has died off, and they've got to now kind of make their decisions of how are they going to avoid this, because like the one letter says that this has to happen, that they can't change this big mass thing, but we can do it so it's better, so that we can do it not so like it's better in as such it kills more people, no, but that it's better in that maybe it doesn't kill as many people. It's kind of vague what they mean by that, but like out of something really bad, something really good comes, and so this has to happen. And so it's really interesting where it pushes them all. And then the very last page, we have a big reveal that somebody from the future is in the present. They've kind of come back with this bunker. All in all, I really love the book. This is a double thick issue, so you get plenty of time to really get into the story, and I just hope I've done it justice, because it really works on so many layers. You get visions of the future of what's happened to them, and you kind of don't know which ones have gone wrong and which ones are kind of our good guys, so to speak. But yeah, it's really, really great. The other thing that I do love about the book is the art by Joe Infurnari. I've not seen his art before, but I really do like this guy's art. And the fact that he gets to like do like everything on the art side is really cool. So yeah, first issue, I really loved this. This was really great, really different. And really so much potential in where it can go, both with what's happening in the future and what's happening in the present. And I'd give Bunker issue number 1 would definitely be a 5 stars out of 5. So then issue 2, and this is where the book kind of starts to get into its regular form, what I figure will be its regular format, as where for issue 1 we kind of had the whole group. This issue we kind of pretty much just deal with Billy and Grady. Grady gets a package, and in this package is a newspaper from tomorrow, and it says that he's going to save all these people from, because this bomb goes off, and he goes into the building where the bomb went off, and he saves all these people and becomes a national hero. Now he has to let this building blow up, because this has to happen. He has to become a national hero by saving these people. This is one of those fixed points that has to happen. How or why we don't understand yet, but this has to happen. So Billy, with his guest from the future, kind of learns of this as well, and Billy's like, I've got to do something, we can't let this happen. And Grady's going through a similar thing, and he can't tell everything to Heidi, because Heidi needs to be there as well. But Grady's going through a similar thing. Should I like try and stop the bomb going off and save more lives, or do you let something bad happen so that this thing can happen as it should do? And kind of they have to go through like the morality of it. Morality wise, yeah, no doubt you should stop this, but then there's like the common sense thing, as it's pointed out in the book, that like, what would the police say? You can't tell them where this bomb is, so they'll be searching for this bomb, it will go off, and then who are they going to come looking for? The one person who knew that there was a bomb. So it's all, yeah, it's like, it's easy to say, yeah, morally this is the right thing to do, but then there's consequences to that. So it's kind of like both sides, and the whole issue kind of deals with the two of them in their own way, trying to kind of come to terms with this. We also get glimpses of the future that kind of pull into question who we thought were the good guys from the first issue, and it really, yeah, it really makes you question and look at this and say, who's good, who's bad. And I'm just as interested in what's developing in the future as what's developing now. Each issue has this fantastic inside page where we have, like, it tells you what happened in the previous issue, which they really do a good job. The art, once again, by Joe Infurnari, is just brilliant. Once again, he does pretty much all the heart. But also I really love the dialogue by Fialkov. It just feels so natural. Sometimes in comics the art can feel a bit, like comic booky, if that makes any sense. Like, oh no, there is danger ahead. That kind of thing. And probably not so much now, probably more back in the day. But the conversations in here feel so natural and so true to life. So yeah, this was just another really great issue that kind of makes you ask questions of yourself, which I always like books like that, but at the same time is laying out a really great story. And I'd give issue 2 of The Bunker 5 stars out of 5. So next up to issue 3, and this is the one where it all goes off. This issue is pretty much told from the perspective of Heidi, and Heidi is Billy's younger sister, and she has gone along with Grady, and she doesn't know there's going to be this explosion. So like the issue kind of opens up with this big explosion kicking off, and Grady just goes, he knows it's time, and he goes into the building to start rescuing people because he knows that's what he's supposed to do. We then get this like flashback to when Grady and Heidi first met, and Grady is just being this hero as the story keeps jumping backwards and forth between the past and the present. And yeah, and you go on a bit of an emotional journey with you're on a bit of this emotional journey with Heidi, because there's loads of inner monologue from her, and kind of the crux of the issue is like she has this deep, she can't believe Grady. She's always, like she says to him, I always thought of you as that scared little kid, but look what you've done here, you're a hero. But then she makes a discovery which rocks everything that she thinks right down. So, but yeah, brilliant. Another good issue. Probably not as strong as the first two issues, because we're really in the mix of things now. But I really like the way they're structuring the book, in that we're dealing with different characters each issue. I like that. It gives each book a different feel. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like I say, I don't think it was as strong as the first two issues, but it was still a damn fine book, and the art is just magnificent in this. Really becoming a big fan of Joe Infurnari, and hopefully one day I'll even be able to pronounce his name correctly. So yeah, I'd give The Bunker issue number 3 4 stars out of 5. So this is the final issue that is out at the moment. This is issue number 4. This was the last issue. This concludes the initial story arc that kind of introduced this whole thing. This issue we deal more with Natasha and with Daniel, and how they're dealing with everything. So we get to see their lives and what they've been doing since we last met them. And then kind of then Daniel finds out about the bomb, and they're worried about Heidi. So then he goes to get Natasha so that they can go and check if Heidi's okay. And by the end of the book, like, the whole group's come together, and we have a pretty cool moment right at the end that has me really anticipating the next issue. Once again, you have that fantastic inside page, which they really do a good job there of summing up what's happened in previous books. The art, once again, I must say, I really do like. Daniel is starting his new job, and that's what we're dealing with mostly with Daniel, as he's starting his new job. And then we catch up with Natasha, as she is kind of still adapting to this whole thing, because she's still dealing with the fact that her boyfriend slept with her best friend. And then kind of Daniel finds out what's happened, and he's trying to get in contact with Natasha, and he gets to Natasha's, and she's all still really angry at him, until they get to this, and she's like wants him to get out, but he's like, no, you need to watch the news. And then kind of then it's the whole journey getting to Heidi's to see if she's okay. And by the end of the issue, the whole gang's there. And I ain't gonna spoil the last page, because there is a big cliffhanger on the last page. Not a cliffhanger, but like the last bit of dialogue is, well, this should be fun, which it should. I am really looking forward to seeing where they're gonna go next issue with this. Like I said again, Fialkov's right, it is brilliant. There is a lot of swearing in the first 4 issues. I think they count up in here. There are 69 F-bombs, in the first 4 issues. So it's definitely not a book to be sharing with your kids. But it's still, the dialogue is just so great. Even in this issue, the scenes between Daniel and Natasha are brilliant and feel so real. And Fialkov's just doing a superb job in, yeah, he's setting up some kind of like science fiction story here with time travel, but the characters feel real, and their emotions and what they're going through feel real, and that's right down to the writing. The art is superb and gives loads of kind of great facial expression, as well as like just really telling the story greatly. All in all, this is still a really great book. Like I say, I preferred the first 2 issues more, because we got those glimpses of the future as well, and that seemed to have dropped off the last 2 issues. We don't seem to be getting any glimpse of the future, which I kind of miss, and I'm hoping that's going to come back in issue 5. But all in all, though, this is still a really good book, and I'm really pleased that I started to get this one, because it has been a good series thus far. And I give issue number 4 of The Bunker 4 stars out of 5. So those are the first 4 issues of The Bunker. Issue number 5 comes out tomorrow. I don't know what Only Press are like. I don't know if they've released the trade of it yet, but I'd imagine they would. Most of the indies kind of follow the example of Image and bring their trades out pretty quickly. So I'd imagine with 5 coming out tomorrow, that at a time of recording, that is, I'd imagine they would have the trade out. Well worth picking up, really good story. If you like your sci-fi with a bit of realism and something that's going to make you maybe think, I think this is definitely the book for you to pick up, and I've really enjoyed The Bunker. I hope you've enjoyed my video on The Bunker. I will be back soon with more videos. Look out for my comic haul and my comic book reviews, which come up every week. Anyway, that's me done. Thank you as always for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed it and this has been informative. I've been Jason. This has been Comic Book Catch Up. Bye for now.